Welcome to Study Loop.
So this question is basically asking for your understanding of the various levels of the nitrogen cycle and which of them involves actually taking the nitrogen that's in the air and bringing them into organic molecules. Um, so for this, we're just going to run through all of our multiple choice options and see which one fits best. So first, we're going to go with nitrification, which, based on its name, it sounds closer to something like nitrite, um, which is key for this part because it's actually it sounds almost like it could be the step that involves taking in nitrogen from the air and incorporating that into organic molecules, but that actually isn't the case because in nitrification we have here some bacteria in the soil, and they have ammonium, which is NH4 plus minus. Here's a NH4 plus, not minus, excuse me. This is ammonium. And as you can see, ammonium already has a nitrogen in it. So it's already in these organic compounds. So already right at the gate, we can probably go ahead and cut A out. But let's just run through it just so we get this definition now. Nitrification is basically the process in which bacteria in the soil convert ammonium into nitrite, and then more bacteria in the soil convert nitrite into nitrate. Um, so again, all of these steps, nitrogen has already been incorporated into the organic molecules, so it's not exactly what we're looking for this question. The next step, actually, after this is denitrification. It's very convenient that it's option B because this is the stage in which that nitrate, which was the very last stage in the nitrification process, is actually converted back into N2 gas. So this is actually the reverse of what the question itself is asking for. And the question is asking for how does this nitrogen in the air come back into organic molecules? This denitrification, the key part being the D, obviously, which is like the outward moving, no longer a part of the thing itself, is taking this nitrogen out of the organic and biological system. So option B is like option A is also out of the picture for us at the moment. Next, we have nitrogen fixation, which kind of like nitrification, but I think this is a bit stronger. If you didn't know what this term meant, it would seem to make the most sense just based on the fixation part. Like, it sounds like you're taking in nitrogen, just plain nitrogen, not anything that sounds like nitrite, which is a separate compound. And you're fixating it onto something, and most likely that's going to be a biological compound. And then it's opposed to denitrification, where there's a part of it that implies, taking the nitrogen out of the system. And in this case, that actually is what nitrogen fixation is. It's the taking of bacteria in the soil are able to take nitrogen gas from the air and take it and fix it into their organic compounds, and usually it's converted into ammonium, which we've already seen starts off the process of nitrification. So it seems already that option C is looking like our correct answer. But let's take a look at our last option just to make sure we didn't miss anything, because option D is actually the entire sort of cycle that I've just gone through in all three of these, which is the process of how nitrogen kind of goes from being in the atmosphere, coming into organic molecules, getting spread into other like terrestrial organisms and like the non-bacteria, and then how that, is converted into ammonium, which goes through nitrification, and then eventually the nitrogen gets back into the atmosphere. That is the cycle at heart here. So, part of that is this taking the nitrogen, fixating it into organic molecules, but that's only one part of the whole cycle. And this one part is the fixation. So I think it's safe to say that C is our final answer.